Welcome, everyone, to AI Sports Predictor. College basketball in February, that's where the wolves separate from the sheep. And tonight, we've got a dogfight in Reed Arena, Tennessee Volunteers versus Texas A&M Aggies. Two squads, both with 20-plus wins. But only one walks out with a W. Tennessee rolls in at 21-5, looking like a team that doesn't just win games, they dictate them. Last time out, they handled Vanderbilt 81-76 on the back of Zakai Ziegler, who torched the floor for 22 points on 7 of 11 shooting. The Volunteers shot a scorching 55.8% from the field, splashed 9 threes, and controlled the game even while hitting just 63.6% of their free throws. But the real beauty, they play defense like a pack of rabid dogs, fourth in the nation in points allowed per game. Surrendering just 60.5 a night. They clamp down, force 12.5 turnovers per game, and make offenses wish they never got on the bus. Texas A&M, different story. They're 20-6, but coming off a brutal 70-54 loss to Mississippi State where they couldn't hit the broadside of a barn, 35.8% from the field and 19 turnovers. That ain't just bad, that's burn the game film bad. Zurich Phelps dropped 13 points, but the Aggies never had a grip on the game. Their defense is respectable, ranked 34th in the country, giving up just 65.5 points per game, but their offense. A shaky 42.3% field goal percentage on the season, coughing up the ball 12.3 times per game. That's a problem against a Tennessee squad that thrives on turning mistakes into daggers. Now, let's talk numbers. The spread is Tennessee minus 1.5. Vegas thinks this one's close. But is it? You got a Volunteers squad playing at an elite level. Locking down opponents, controlling the pace, and forcing turnovers at will. Meanwhile, Texas A&M is coming off a loss that looked more like an implosion. And today's AI pick is Tennessee minus 1.5. The Volunteers are stepping into Reed Arena like gunslingers walking into an old western. Texas A&M better be ready for a fight, 'cause Tennessee ain't here for small talk. On to Game 2.
And just like that, we roll into Game 2 Mississippi State, Oklahoma. Two teams standing at the crossroads, staring each other down. The Bulldogs at 19-7, playing like a squad that's got something to prove. The Sooners at 16-10, searching for a way to shake off their last disaster. And trust me, it was a disaster. Let's start with the Bulldogs. Last time out, they ran through Texas A&M like a wrecking ball 75-4. You want to talk about domination. Try forcing 19 turnovers and racking up 17 steals while holding the Aggies to a miserable 35.8% shooting from the field. That's not just defense, that's a statement. Josh Hubbard. Absolute flamethrower. 25 points, a 60% shooting, 4 assists, and 35 minutes of straight-up control. Mississippi State doesn't just score, they suffocate. Offensively, they're putting up 7 to 9 points per game on 45.6% shooting, grabbing nearly 38.3 boards a night, and their assist game, ranked 8th in the country. The one blemish, only 31.6% from deep. They like to pound inside and get to the line, where they're hitting 60.5% of their free throws. But let's not ignore what makes them scar their defense. 13.7 forced turnovers per game, 17.3 fouls drawn, and a habit of making teams earn every single point. Now let's talk about Oklahoma. If Mississippi State came off a statement win, the Sooners are walking in off a straight-up beating. Florida hung 8 of 5 points on them in a game that never felt close. Oklahoma got worked on the boards, giving up 34 rebounds, and let Florida hit 45.2% from the field. They managed just 38.8% shooting themselves, with 12 turnovers that led to easy buckets the other way. But even after that wreckage, Oklahoma still has some firepower. Jeremiah Fears. The kid dropped 22 points, shot 46.7%, and pulled down 5 rebounds. On the season, Oklahoma's offense ranks 9th nationally, averaging 7 to 7.2 points per game on 46.4% shooting. They move the ball decently, averaging 13.5 assists a night, but turnovers 12.5 per game have been killing them. And then there's the defense. 7 to 3 points per game allowed, ranking them 218th in the country. They give up 4 to 4.4% shooting to opponents and have been shaky on the perimeter, letting teams shoot 29.8% from 3. The biggest issue: rebounding. Just 32.4 boards a game, ranking them 150th nationally. Against a team like Mississippi State that thrives on extra possessions, that's a serious problem. So what's the play? Mississippi State 1.5. The Bulldogs are coming in hot, playing lockdown defense and riding momentum. Oklahoma. They're just trying to pick up the pieces. And today's AI pick is Mississippi State 1.5. The Sooners better show up ready for a fight because the Bulldogs, they don't play around. On to Game 3.
And just like that, we roll into Game 3. Duke, Illinois. Madison Square Garden. A game that carries that big stage energy. Where one team is fighting for tournament dominance and the other just fighting to stay relevant. 23-3 Blue Devils versus 17-10 Fighting Illini. Let's start with Duke, a team playing like a machine. Fresh off an 80-62 beatdown of Virginia, they came in, took what they wanted, and left the Cavaliers wondering what hit them. 52.5% from the field. 9 threes. 81.8% from the line. That's efficiency. And let's talk about Cooper Flagg. The kid dropped 17 points, snatched 14 rebounds, and played 30 minutes like he owned the court. Duke isn't just winning. They're dictating the game. This offense? It's ranked 36th in the nation, putting up 81 points a game, hitting 48.6% from the field, and a dangerous 37.9% from deep. And when they get to the line, 77.5% accuracy. Clean, disciplined, and deadly. But here's the kicker: they don't turn the ball over. Averaging just 9.7 giveaways per game. And if you think that's scary, check the defense. 6th in the nation, allowing only 60.8 points per game. They force 11.7 turnovers a night, hold opponents to 38.4% shooting, and dominate the glass. They control the pace, force bad shots, and make you fight for every single bucket. Now, let's talk Illinois, coming in off a brutal 95-74 loss to Wisconsin. You want to talk defensive breakdowns? Wisconsin shot 52.3% from the field, hit 10 threes, and pulled down 37 rebounds. The Illini defense? Nowhere to be found. But it's not all bad. Draw Gibbs Lawhorn played his heart out. 17 points. 58.3% shooting. 5 assists. And 4 rebounds. Illinois still averages 83.9 points per game, and they're pulling down 43.8 rebounds a night, one of the best rebounding teams in the country. The issue? Their defense is a problem. 206th in the country in points allowed, 72.4 per game, letting opponents hit 40.7% from the field and 31.8% from deep. They just don't lock down the way Duke does. Now, let's talk the spread. Duke, 10.5. The numbers, the matchups, the momentum, all say the same thing. And today's AI pick is Duke, 10.5. The Blue Devils are walking into Madison Square Garden with bad intentions. Illinois better show up with something special, 'cause Duke ain't leaving that court without a statement win. On to Game 4.
And now, Game 4. Kentucky, Alabama. Two SEC powerhouses stepping into Coleman Coliseum, where the air is thick with tension, and the stakes couldn't be higher. The Crimson Tide at 21-5, the Wildcats at 18-8. One team looking to solidify dominance, the other looking to make a statement. Let's start with Kentucky. They just came off a dominant 82-61 win over Vanderbilt, looking locked in from start to finish. Shot 58% from the field, buried 11 threes, and went perfect 13 for 13 from the free throw line. Note that is how you handle business. Ogoe led the charge with 20 points on 70% shooting, grabbing 7 rebounds and dishing 3 assists. Efficient. Smooth. Lethal. On the season, Kentucky's offense is a flamethrower. 85.8 points per game, third in the country, hitting 48.6% from the field and a deadly 38% from deep. They move the ball with purpose, racking up 451 assists when tionest in the nation. But the defense. That's where things get shaky. 209 tionest in the country in points allowed per game, 7 to 5.7, struggling to lock down the perimeter. They force just 9.8 turnovers a night. One of the lowest marks in D1 now. Let's talk about Alabama coming in off an absolute track meet of a loss to Missouri. 110-98. You read that right, 110 points allowed. That's not defense, that's an open invitation to score at will. Missouri shot at 60.3% from the field, got to the line 47 times, and torched Alabama from deep. But don't let that loss fool you. Alabama can score with the best of them. They average 90.6 points per game, 4 to 4 rebounds a night, and rank 31 in assists per game. They live and die by the deep ball, shooting 41.9% from 3, but also turning it over 13.2 times per contest. Mark Sears. A one-man wrecking crew, 35 points against Missouri, a 60% shooting, 5 assists, and a guy who can take over a game in an instant. Now, let's talk defense or lack thereof. Alabama ranks 349th in the nation in points allowed per game, 80.3. They force just 10.1 turnovers per contest and allow opponents to shoot 41.9% from the field. The three-point defense. 30.2% allowed, but that's deceptive. Teams don't need to shoot threes when they can attack the paint at will. So here's the angle. The spread is Alabama 8.5. They're the better offensive team, but defensively, they bleed points. Kentucky. A team that can hang in a shootout but struggles to get stops. In today's AI pick is Kentucky 8.5. The Wildcats aren't coming to roll over, they're coming to make it messy. And with Alabama's defense. This one's got chaos written all over it. On to Game 5.
And now, we close the show with Game 5. Missouri, Arkansas, two teams in desperation mode, one looking to build on momentum. The other looking to stop the bleeding. Missouri at 20-6, Arkansas at 15-11, and inside Bud Walton Arena. There's no room for hesitation. Let's start with Missouri, rolling in off a wild 110-98 shootout win over Alabama. And when I say shootout, I mean absolute offensive mayhem. 60.3% from the field, 9 threes, and a ridiculous 31 free throws made on 47 attempts. Yeah, you heard that right, 47 free throws. They turned the game into a parade to the line and came out the other side with a statement win. And then there's Mark Mitchell. This man went nuclear, 31 points on 11 of 15 shooting, 3 assists, 3 boards. And absolutely took over the game. But it's not just him. Missouri's offense ranks 14th in the country, averaging 83.7 points per game on 48.5% shooting. They bury threes at a 37.1% clip and know how to get to the line, hitting 71.9% from the stripe. But defensively, they've got some questions. They give up 70.1 points per game, ranking 130th in the country, and while they force 14.5 turnovers per game, they also commit 17.2 fouls a night, which means if they get reckless, Arkansas is gone alive at the line. Now, let's talk Arkansas, coming in off a 67-60 loss to Auburn, where they shot just 15.8% from deep and left way too many points at the free throw line, hitting only 50% of their 14 attempts. And if you thought Missouri had foul trouble, Arkansas gave up 17 free throw attempts to Auburn, letting them dictate the pace. But Adu Theoro still showed up. 16 points, 46.2% shooting, 4 rebounds. The Razorbacks have weapons, but the offense is streaky, averaging 75.5 points per game on 46.5% shooting. They can score inside but struggle from deep, hitting just 30.8% from 3. Now, Arkansas has an edge defensively. They give up just 68.8 points per game, force 12.7 turnovers a night, and hold opponents to 41.6% shooting. They clamp down on the perimeter, but their rebounding, just 34.7 per game, leaves them vulnerable to second chance points. And the spread, Arkansas plus 1.5. A game like this, it's a coin flip, but Missouri's been playing at a different level offensively, and Arkansas has been too inconsistent shooting the ball to trust down the stretch. And today's AI pick is Arkansas plus 1.5. The Razorbacks are at home, desperate, and know they need this one. And in must-win territory, you bet on the team that plays like it's got nothing to lose. And now, let's recap the 5 AI picks for the day. Tennessee minus 1.5. The Volunteers bring the defense, the discipline, and the edge against Texas A&M. Mississippi State minus 1.5. The Bulldogs' lockdown defense makes the difference against Oklahoma. Duke minus 10.5. The Blue Devils dominate both ends, and Illinois can't keep up. Kentucky plus 8.5. Alabama can score, but they can't stop a thing. Wildcats cover. Arkansas plus 1.5. The Razorbacks hold strong at home in a grind-it-out battle. And that's 5 games, 5 AI picks, all backed by the numbers. Now, if you made it this far, you already know what to do. Like the video, subscribe to AI Sports Predictor, and hit that notification bell, because this isn't just sports analysis. It's a revolution. See you on the next one.